No nonsense gin drinking. All gin, no nonsense. Hello gin lovers, welcome back. I'm Bobby Freeman and today, my friends, we have a first on the show. I think it's a first anyway, I'm sure it is. I'm gonna go with it. It's our first ever Kiwi gin. Gin all the way from bloody New Zealand. I don't think you can get any further away from the UK. It's our longest travel gin. Anyway, that's quite an introduction. I'll just tell you the name. It is Scapegrace Gin. Now, before we start, I must just let you know, we are in the middle of what we call, well, what we in the UK call a heat wave, which I know in a lot of countries, people watch this show from all around the world, and a lot of you are in places where there's real heat, and you're probably laughing at me with this mild sort of 35-degree heat. However, here in the UK, where we're used to just constant drizzle, it's pretty bloody hot. And when I've got this corrugated metal roof here, once the sun hits it, I'm basically under a gigantic radiator. So I'm not a man who wears shorts usually. However, today, because I've been cursed with extremely pale legs. However, today I have broken out my only pair of shorts, but I shall battle through nonetheless, because that's what I do. That's the sort of thing I do for my gin lovers and my viewers. You're welcome. Anyway, let's have a look at this little fella because it's travelled the furthest of any gin on this show. So I think it deserves a little bit of respect and of course an accent. Now, I suspect my Kiwi accent is probably pretty similar to my Australian accent. I know that's probably really offensive to Australians and Kiwis. It's like saying American sounds like Canada, British sound like Scottish, but I'm gonna give it a bloody good go. Two guys from New Zealand who didn't know each other until one of them married the other one's sister, and then they did. A year sitting in bars and lounges discussing how they always wanted to make their own gin. This is how two brothers-in-law and a part-time musician got into a lot of debt, created a gin that won gold at the London and San Francisco Spirit Awards. 12 botanicals, nature's wild apostles. Water torn from the earth 80 years ago as it was hurled down on New Zealand's Southern Alps. A whiskey still from the 19th century stumbled upon in a long-abandoned shed. These are our ingredients. This is how Scapegrace signs its name around the globe. And as you can see, I built up quite a sweat doing that. Luckily, iPads can also double as a wonderful hand fan. Oh man, that's nice. Now look at the botanicals in these, okay? So it's kind of sort of splayed out really weirdly on the website. So I'm going to have to do a lot of sort of scrolling around like this. It's orange peel, it's lemon peel, it's coriander seeds. Kind of the staple sort of botanicals you expect. Also cardamom pods, nice. We've also got nutmeg, we've got juniper berries, obviously. We've got angelica root, we've got cloves, we've got orris root, and we've got licorice root. Oh my God, hang on, I thought that was it. We've also got cinnamon sticks, and we've got cassia bark, and we've got dried tangerine. Now, I would say they're kind of the ingredients you would expect, the botanicals you would expect of a very, very good and expert gin. It reminds me a little bit of number 3, obviously with a few more botanicals as well, but that kind of pureness in there. The only thing I haven't seen before is tangerine, but to be honest, I would have guessed that's kind of the same as orange, but who knows? I'm no expert. However, I do know this, we're gonna bloody well find out. So then, let's get the old top off, shall we? I'm gonna bust through the seal here. No, I'm not. There's one of those, oh no, it's one of these annoying things that takes loads of time to get off. Hang on a second. Am I gonna have to play some music over it? I don't think so. Yes, I am. And there we go. Geez, that was a tough one to get into today. They don't want us to get into the old Scapegrace, that's for sure. So, do we have a cork? I think we do. So, we know what that means. It's the first ever Kiwi cork test. That sounded nothing like Kiwi. The first ever Kiwi cork test. Anyway, let's try a squeak. Do you know what? I thought it was going to have a squeak for a second. I had a funny inkling. Never mind, nothing has a squeak these days. Go for the full ball. Ooh, not bad at all. A little bit went on my arm. It's always nice to get a little drench before we try it. Anyway, let's get it in the old glass. Courtesy of the new glasses here, by the way, courtesy of my friends at the Anno Distillers, who I visited the other day to do a blending experience. If you're ever in the UK, get yourselves down to Anno because it's absolutely amazing. You basically sort of get a tour of the distillery and sort of make your own gin. It's awesome. I'm not being paid to say that. I wish I was, but I'm definitely not. Anyway, let's get this fellow in the glass, shall we? Oh, ding ding there. Cheers. Right, here we go. Nose going in. Oh, that, my friends, is a very, very welcome sensation in the old nasal passages. It's... Oh, that went a bit too far into the lungs. It's kind of... It's going to be a core gin, okay? What I call not a standard gin. No, it is a core gin. That's the best name for it. Just one of those gins where there's nothing weird and wonderful, nothing crazy and a bit sort of wild in there. It smells to me like everything is in order. The beautiful kind of cloudy juniper base, sort of all this, but there's kind of a sort of a warmness, which probably from the cardamom in there, but there's a very heavy kind of orangey, I'd say a slightly more concentrated orangey sort of aroma than usual, which I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe is the tangerines. Maybe tangerines are a little bit sweeter, I don't know. But one thing I do know is we're going to be getting it in the old mouth. So then, I've got a teeny tiny bottle which I've opened freshly today because I've run out of big bottles, but it doesn't matter, it's all the same. Here we go. I reckon that's about right. So my friends, I say to I say to my friends, down under, does New Zealand class us down under? I'm not sure. I think so. No, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to offend anyone. So I'll just say my friends in New Zealand. That would have been an easier way of doing it, wouldn't it? My friends in New Zealand and also from around the world, Scapegrace, oh God, this is going great today, isn't it? Scapegrace Gin, cheers. And that's the first for the show. I usually whack it with a flat tan. Today I went for the full-on punch, a closed fish, which is surprisingly painful. However, it just, what was the ABV on this? We didn't check, did we? ABV is 42.2, so it's about kind of standard what I would expect from the London Dries. And I tell you what, that's one of the gins that does exactly what it says in the smell, okay? It's just balanced flavors in just that beautiful way. It's not going to be a huge sort of meandering description today, because sometimes when you get a core gin that just does it right, there's not a great deal to say. It's just got a perfect balance of a lovely, well, let's go through the journey, shall we? So first of all, it's quite subtle as it goes over the lips. It's quite light and not too heavy. You get a sense of sort of tingliness like this, but almost immediately the citrus is kind of right up front, but it's kind of a light and sort of sparkly. It's kind of dances and crackles a little bit as it goes into the mouth. And as I said before, it's kind of a sort of more sweeter, a bit more of a tangy sweetness than usual, which, as I say, I'm guessing it's kind of orangey tanginess in a different way I've had before. So I can only surmise from that it must be the tangerines. As I said, I don't know. I thought a tangerine was just like a small orange, but maybe it gives a kind of a bit more of a tang to it. I don't know. Then that's kind of backed up with the beautiful sort of warm, sort of heavy, earthy wave of juniper, but it's not. Actually, it's not a heavy wave, it's a kind of a light wave of juniper. It's not super heavy like something in the old Brooklyn gin up there. What else was it? McLaren, why do I always call it McLaren? The Melbourne Gin Company. And the flavours kind of sort of, you get a feeling like they're floating upwards. It goes from the juniper up to the sort of the warm cardamom-y bits, and then just the overarching flavours, I would say, is this orange tanginess. And as you know, if you watched this show before, for me personally, that can never be a bad thing. In fact, I did say dried peel, didn't it? But to me, the zinginess and the citrus in there, I would say it's getting somewhere towards, not to the level of, but somewhere towards the Tanqueray 10. Maybe halfway between, like a halfway house between a Beefeater and a Tanqueray 10. That's probably where I'd have this one sit. So then, let's give her a go, neat. I suspect this is going to be one more suited to a gin and tonic, but we never know, it's fine. Oh, wow. So you get a lot more kind of, that's interesting, you get a lot more kind of floral notes in there, kind of sort of aromatic sort of swirling as well, definitely kind of a base warmness of that cardamom in there. Ooh. And a bit of a burn on the old tongue as well, obviously, which you'd expect, having it neat. It's not bad, it's not bad. Again, I'm still going to be drinking a gin and tonic. However, my hardcore neat gin drinkers out there, I reckon this would be a very interesting one, because it's this huge sort of, it's a very intense mix of flavour, and you kind of get them all sort of bombarding in one go, and they kind of release afterwards. But yeah, again, as I always say, I'm going to be drinking this one definitely with the tonic. So then, gin lovers, we like the gin very much. However, do we like the price? Well, I can tell you, I most certainly do. It is, well, first of all, I'm going to do it in New Zealand dollars. It seems fair because it's from New Zealand. It will cost you 79 New Zealand dollars and 95 cents. Now, over here in the UK, because it seems to be available many places in the world, and over here in the UK, it will cost you £30, which is bang on the money. As I always like to say, you don't need to pay more than that to get a good gin. You pay a little bit more for the smaller distilleries, and I wouldn't have minded paying a little bit more for that. However, very, very good price. It is, in America, it will cost you $40, and anywhere else in Europe, it will cost you 33 euros. So, I would say, I'm surprised I haven't seen this sort of more readily available, to be honest, because that's in the contenders with your core gins, you know, like your Sipsmiths and your, what are the other ones, the Sipsmiths, the Tanqueray, obviously, and the Plymouths. So I would say that is an excellent price, and I think we're going to see more of it. So guys, to sum up today, this, I think, as I said before, I'm surprised I haven't seen it or not been more aware of it. It was recommended by a few different viewers and subscribers, but I honestly think this could be, I always say, there's going to be, at some point, a gin revolution, where the mainstays, the Tanquerays, the Beefeaters, the Plymouths and the Sipsmiths, are possibly going to be pushed aside by a new wave of young bucks, young go-getters, and I reckon Scapegrace could well be among them. And if you see it, I would most definitely recommend it, especially at that price as well. I think this little Kiwi gin is going to be going places. So guys, I hope you found this video useful today. If you are in New Zealand, I don't think I've heard from any Kiwi viewers before, but if I have, do let me know. Let me know if you've heard of this one and let me know what you think of it. If you found it useful in any way, shape or form, as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, press the little like button on the video, and of course the old, what's the other one? Oh yes, I know I've forgotten. Oh yeah, the little bell icon so you get notified when my new videos come out, smooth as ever on this YouTube channel. And of course, if you want to support the show, head over to the old Patreon page or indeed click the join button below this video. But until next time guys, you know the drill. Take care, stay safe, thank you to all my wonderful patrons and members, and of course, keep drinking the gin.